Bum, 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 bum. Do we have a stream that is functional, useful, and that people can hear? Boy, howdy. I would love to know if you could hear if this thing is on. And when you do know, you can say, "Hi, Wally." All messing. I think we will see. Patience. Great things come with patience. Well, hello. Hi. One person is here. At least one person has showed up to this stream. That's good. It's confirmed. We are live. I'm echoing. Turn that off. Time to do the... Well, hello, Jenny B. Hello, Wally. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, Tim Wilpess. Hello. Hi. How are you? Hi, Lisa. First time on a live. I'm in New Zealand. Well, boy, howdy, hey. I hope things are great in New Zealand, because that's real cool in the upside down land. Hello. Greetings from Brazil. Your mic is low. This wouldn't be a Wally stream if it didn't start. Why am I talking like a newscaster? This wouldn't be a Wally stream. My microphone is low. I turned the gain up. If that is better, then please say, "Wally, you're the best." And then I'll know that it's better. And if you lied to me, then you don't like puppies. So think about that. The sound is good on my end. Greetings from Australia. Wow. Hello. Better. 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 Okay. That sounds great. Okay. We have new... Hello, Raktha. Hello. I haven't seen that name in a while. Hello, hello. Fat Slapper gets it. Wally's the best. That's that type of good gas that I'm looking for. See, now we're cooking. Hello, Jelena. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, today I have a guest, and this guest is a guest that we've had on the live streams before. We go way back. Oh, your anxiety's bad today? I'm super sorry. Hopefully this chill, cozy little stream of a couple of knuckleheads yapping can be a little serotonin inducing chill fest for you. That's what we're here for. Yes, so I have today as a guest, and I am going to pull that up now with my new and improved. I improved from last week transitions, so I can just click a button, and we have a guest who I've muted, but now is unmuted. Hello. Can the stream hear you?
I'm not on the screen. Oh, there I am.
Yeah. No, we're good. We're good. The only thing that's not working is the chat box. Why is the chat box not working? I know, we're fancy now. We're fancy. Okay. It's just not
Can you fine folks hear me?
Pardon?
I was just wondering if your fine audience can hear me.
Not my audience. They're just people watching.
Okay.
I don't own them. Okay, I'm going to just delete this. Okay. Pitter-pattering with Shanika? I can hear you both. Wow, we're cooking now.
Sweet.
Oh, wait, and do we have a chat box as well?
Woot.
And we have a chat box on the screen? Wow. And wait.
Now we're
there's
cooking
more?
with clean coal.
Okay, perfect. Why don't you do an introduction, and you can tell people who you are and why you've come to torture yourself for a little bit. And guys, guess what? I have a transition for this. Boom. What do you think of that? It's not bad, right? Okay.
I'm Walter Cronkite. Just kidding. My name is Jonathan, and I am known as EXwitnessawake in some circles, and lately as Telltale Universe, but that's a whole different thing. Yes. So thank you for having me on there, Wally. Introduction complete. And
thank you for coming on. No, but I want people to really enjoy. Oh, there's an echo. Oh boy, what have I done?
What have you done?
What have I? There's an echo. Okay, we have an echo, and I don't know why.
Oh yeah. Make sure it has nothing to do with.
Did I fix the echo? Can you say something so I can see if I can still hear you?
I can say something indeed.
echo on Jonathan only. Have I fixed the echo? Has Wally Big Brain So Huge managed to do a thing?
Wally So Brain...
So
what?
expansive.
So huge brain?
Wally's brain's so huge. I fixed it.
Wally Megamind.
Megamind. We're good now. Okay, hey, this wouldn't be a stream if we didn't have something go a little cattywampus. But we're just getting back into it. We're in the beta testing, but we can do cool stuff now. So, oh wait, no.
The Wampus has gone catty, but we fixed it.
Has gone very catty. I still didn't pee before stream, so we have this.
It's
Reminded
tradition.
me of old conventions and horse tracks back in the 80s. You know when you were at the convention and you were at one of like the desks where they would do like cleaning or signs or information, and it was always around a corner, and it was the most echoey place like in the whole universe. Did you ever, was it like that where you were at? Because in the Tacoma Dome, it was god awful. Like you literally could not hear a single thing.
It was a little hard to hear in those places. I just mostly think of the echo of the speaker, and it's just sounds like, you're somebody in a big stadium. Yeah, and it's just, I don't know, it just brings me back when I hear that sort of noise.
And it makes me feel good when I do that. All right, fine people. I have wasted 5 minutes of your time, but I promise I will only waste another hour and a half of it. But first, before we get into our program...
I was going to say 5 minutes and counting.
We have news and announcements from Jonathan, who's going to go over a list that I've sent him of news and announcements and things to talk about while I go pee. Because I already have to, and I'm just going to get it out of the way now. So, Jonathan, with the news and
bastard.
Announcements, we've definitely planned this, so...
Uh-huh.
Tell them about the news.
Well, the news is Wally's wearing shorts, and that's not news. Wally always wears shorts. Why did he do this to me? How is everybody? We're using Streamlabs, so I'm gonna pick up my phone because then I can read the chat. So let's see what's going on in the chat. Oh. Bwahaha, says my lovely wife. Glad you could make it. So yeah, I have been kind of out of the scene for a little bit, but I do plan to release more content on EXwitnessawake when I get around to it. But I just wanted to have good things to say and not just do the same old. So, what do we got here? What are your thoughts on XJWs who go Christian, and what way do you think the organization is headed with the governing body being subpoenaed? Well, I think if you are a person who is spiritual and wants to join another religion, that's fine. The whole point is to be educated about what you're getting into. And as far as the subpoenaing of the governing body, I am anxious to see what's going to happen in that front. Hopefully we'll see some real, what's the word I'm looking for? Responsibility being taken for their actions.
Do you think they'll actually see a courtroom?
I don't know. Maybe. I mean,
remember hearing about that like a couple of years ago, and I just thought there's probably no way. I'm not sure about this, but
Jeffrey Jackson kind of did. I mean, it was like a stream or something, but he was kind of stuck in the country.
His dad, so he like literally just couldn't leave.
Yeah, they just hijacked him and like, oh, you're here in the country? Great, you can't leave. So he kind of had to play. They had to kind of go with the flow.
Yeah. Anyway, well, there's that. Oh wait, I have this. So today, I had a topic, and I believe Jonathan had a topic. Should we do my topic first off right away? We'll do Wally's topic. Okay. I don't know if this is the best thing because, I do have another camera. I know you guys mentioned last time about it always looking like I'm off into the distance. So I do have another camera that I can put on screen, but it just looks a little whack. Because it's not like as good as my normal camera. So now you guys can't say I'm not looking at you guys or looking at the guests, because now there's one on each side of me looking both ways. So, nope, you can't say anything. Anyway, this looks absolutely terrible, though. I don't think they will, but I hope they do. Diddy 2.0. True. I'm lurking while hatching shiny Pokemon and Crystal. Nice. They will say no person is the governing body. It's a spiritual group only when they are together. Oh, interesting. That's actually kind of an interesting way of looking at it. Anyway, so
they're sort of like Voltron, is what it is.
Oh, they're only powerful. They're the actual Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Anyway, so my topic. I've been thinking a little bit about how in the digital age we have this, I would say, a renaissance of feudalism, where big CEOs and shareholders are all saying you are going to own nothing and you are going to like it. You are going to just enjoy having only digital media available to you. And the problem with that is, like, they can just take it away at any point in time, and it's like completely arbitrary. One of the things that really like got me started on this, I don't know if you guys remember, but BMW had a really interesting controversy where they were trying to have a subscription service for heated seats. A hardware thing built into a car that you purchased, but you still had to have a continuing subscription. And I just thought, like, that was one of the most, like, it absolutely blew me away. What is this? I heard many people talking bad of me prior to a meeting. Bullying due to being neurodivergent and an autoimmune disorder. So I stayed silent, protest directly at the front, refusing to pray. It's really messed up. Huh. I'm sorry. Yeah, we're talking about Power Rangers and all kinds of things. Sorry, if I get looking at chat, then my brain goes all sideways. Anyway, so I was just pondering.
My brain is always sideways.
These questions of how far is it going to go? I think it's only a matter of how greedy can any company be? How much money will they try and get? And I think there's no end, essentially, to that. And I hate the idea of always having to have some type of like subscription service. So what does this have anything to do with Watchtower? I think they have like the same mentality or the same mindset when it comes to their media. Because in the past, you could have a question about, let's just use something arbitrary like angels, right? So at the end of every year, you get this little booklet that references and tells you in what magazine every single time they talk about angels is. And you just find it. Boom. Okay, I'll go to the June 2nd Watchtower. Boom. Talks about angels there. Now, when you go to their online library, instead of just getting the actual, hey, whatever it says about angels, they might say, oh, we don't really like that quote that we gave, or, oh, we don't really want people to look at that example. They don't even have to remove something off of their website. They can just kind of bury it in an algorithm. Whoa, has gifted 5 memberships to viewers. Thank you so much, T. I very much appreciate you. I actually made little alerts and they didn't work. That's actually made me tight. Oh, yes.
Yeah, it worked.
Oh. Neat. Okay. I thought the alerts were kind of cute. We'll see. Anyway, thank you. I appreciate the big high five. Huge. Oh, is that going to happen every time? Uh-oh. I've done something bad. Now it's going to do it 5 times in a row. Oh boy, I didn't account for this. Well, I'm going to start talking and hope.
There you go.
Yep. So there's that. I do have other interesting aspects of this that I would like to continue to talk about. But
just talk over the membership things. It's fine. It's fine. So I guess maybe BMW will have DLC and like a loot box. You know how like you're playing Mario Kart? You can just like go after this heads-up display of a box, and you have to hit it, and you can like 3 more days of using your heated seat.
Yeah, and then they like put the
Gamify
fear of
it,
God
you know?
into you, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, hold on. I gotta just shout out one other thing. I don't know, Sig, I don't know if you noticed, but I made a special badge just for you. It's my head, but I used AI to make it a goat because you're the longest member on the channel, so I guess you're kind of the goat.
Nice.
So it's my head, but a goat. If you were wondering what that little thing was. Anyway, I said I would do it, and I did it. So I did a thing. Yeah, isn't that like crazy though? Like, it frustrates me to no end how companies can just think people will just accept whatever, and people just kind of do. Like, what are you supposed to do? Oh, sorry, we're changing the terms, and it's now $25 for Netflix. You're also going to have to listen to ads, and nothing you can do about it. And I feel like Watchtower is just taking one out of their book. Like, hey, how about we just have everything be online now? And if we need to change anything, boom, off in 1 second. No problem whatsoever. And I, like, when it comes to deleting the shunning video,
yeah,
no one was going to really know about that. But imagine if they had to send a elder's letter out to every single congregation and said, hey, we're going to need you to not give out this DVD anymore of the shunning video. It's no longer. It would be like a lot of elders would be like, wait, why are we getting rid of this piece of, whatever you want to call it? I don't know.
There's no honesty in it because, this particular video or this particular doctrine has been a thing for 100 years, 80 years, whatever. Then suddenly they change their mind on it. They have a new light. And it's not like it's Netflix and it says, leaving soon, watch this video up until May the 8th.
Yeah.
It's just gone. And suddenly, there's no evidence of it. People forget. Like people are aware that Toni Morris is gone, I'm sure, but how much do they actively think about the fact that he was removed and just sort of for mysterious reasons?
So do you think that anyone that is an active witness has noticed any of his videos being deleted? Or do you think that's just something that they don't talk about?
I don't think they talk about it. There might be a few in some circles. Yeah, I think they're just so on a course, on a routine, the hamster wheel of doing things a certain way, that unless they're actively looking for stuff, they're not going to notice. And that's what the governing body is counting on. People not noticing that the pot is getting hotter and hotter and hotter until you're boiled.
That's what I'm saying about this whole like digital feudalism, man. Because people just don't notice. And it happens so gradually over time that it won't be strange to pay for your heated seats.
That's so weird, though. It's a physical hardware item. Like, it really isn't that hard for them to send a broadcast, a little blip to your car through technology and update the thing. Why?
No.
Like, and honestly, what's it going to do differently? We need it to be 3 more degrees hotter. Like, what's the big change? We need to compensate for this passenger's giant butt.
It literally won't work. Like, you won't have heated seats unless you have the subscription. It'll stop working.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like, what's the logic behind? I can understand if it's
an update,
something that, like your digital console in your car, it now looks different. Mm-hmm. It now does a different thing. But the seat getting hot is the seat getting hot. Like, what? It's like now it makes soup. Like, what?
Okay, so take this for an example then. If you go back 20 years and you go to Adobe Photoshop and you told people, hey, the new thing is you're going to have to pay, account for inflation, whatever it is. It'll be $40 a month for, I don't know what it actually is now, but it'll be $40 a month for all of your, to have a continued service with it. QC man, thank you for the $2. Appreciate you. And you went back 15 years and you said, how they're actually going to run this business is by saying that you have to continue to buy it. You can't just pay the $300 and then you have the product. Like, it just
Right.
works. No one would have
That's the way
believed
it
you.
should
You
be.
would have been laughed at. They would have said, "No, that's crazy. That's insane. No one's going to get behind that. No one's going to buy that. That's a bunch of malarkey." Like, what if you pay for it for 5 years and you've spent triple the cost of that one-time purchase, and you're like, I just don't really need it anymore, but maybe later on. Like, there's so many problems with not just having like the physical thing in front of you. That's why I use DaVinci Resolve. It's a one-time purchase, and they'll still give you updates, and you don't have to pay anything for the updates. It's just one-time purchase, boom, done.
Nice.
Anyway, but how this relates to Watchtower, at least in my head, is I feel like they're just following this playbook where you slowly desensitize people to these changes over time. And then before you know it, it's normal to buy Adobe Shop Premiere. It's just a totally normal thing. And no one really thinks about it. Jonathan or Wally, do you think JW is slowly fading or will change their name? Huh?
I don't think it'll change your name.
What would they change it to? That's a crazy thing. Anyway, I guess that would segment into what, with like this shift.
Jehovah's Orgs.
So I know it's like a hot take and no one believes me, but I think that Watchtower is going to have something resembling a paid for subscription deal.
Oh man.
I genuinely believe that in my heart of hearts. For $5 a month, and then you can access everything on JW like library. And they'll justify it. Well, there's a lot of cost to have the servers. There's a lot of cost.
They might, yeah.
I don't know. What do you think their big change will be? Or not big change, but like, what do you think they're like moving towards?
Well, some people would say they're phasing out Kingdom Halls, but that is a huge chunk of their real estate, which is their model now. It's all real estate. So I'm kind of on the fence about that one.
Yeah. I'm like so far out in left field. I've left like the entire state when it comes to that. I think they could actually start phasing out Kingdom Halls in favor of assembly halls.
That's a fair point.
I see a world where they take one out of sports franchises playbook, and instead of just selling, hamburgers and hot dogs, like, and to make your profit, why not become like this hub where everything happens, at the sports stadium, and you just have a constant cycle of events. You own every restaurant, you own all of the office buildings, you own sports teams make their money from their real estate. I mean, at least if you Mark Cuban is to be believed, but he seems like he's pretty straightforward about that. He was like, I didn't really understand, how to like make money until I really got into understanding how they make money from real estate. Hey, Wally, a couple of years ago, you said how an insider at Bethel told you something about how the governing body was getting gift baskets from politicians. Huh? I said that a Bethel insider told me that they were getting gift baskets from politicians. Can you expand on that? I don't know what you're talking about, big guy. I genuinely don't. I'm sorry. If I said that, I'd have to really like think about that. You a Shark Tank watcher too, Wally? Sometimes. They keep talking about the go bags ready, so are they going to do compounds, live on farms, or camps? I doubt it'll go that far, but I could see a world where it just becomes, hey, let's increase the number of conventions or assemblies that we have per year. Those are their biggest money makers as far as revenue. And why not have like a hub around it where you own the restaurants, you own all of the hotels. If you drive towards Bethel, you'll see in upstate New York, you'll drive by a Holiday Inn Express, and it has a big old JW.org logo on it. They bought a hotel. I don't, just for people that are specifically coming to visit Bethel. I don't think it's the craziest. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm absolutely off my rocker. But if you wanted to just like cash in on your assets and just like liquidate it and just be sitting on an actual like oil deposit, that would be it.
Do you think that they would build some sort of a convention center that they would let other people use while they're not using it as a rental?
don't see why they wouldn't.
That's like they don't even have to tell people. Like, I guess the volunteer labor is going to know. But
so think about it like this, though. An assembly hall right now, it almost doesn't have any downtime. Like we have. Do you have an assembly hall close to you?
Yeah.
Okay. So
no. Well, there's a venue where they have assemblies.
Oh, okay. So we have like a dedicated assembly hall.
It's an auditorium.
Yeah, it's like there's a groundskeeper there. There's like a separate residences for
where I lived before.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, in the States. It was called Romeoville was the name of it, and it's they built it. I remember when we had this old theater that we were in when I was a kid, and then there was like a model of like this is what it's going to look like. That would have been like when I was in my teens.
Yeah,
and yeah.
So those centers are almost never empty. Like pretty much every single weekend, they have someone at there. Mm. So I suspect that if you, I mean, I don't know. I could, when I close my eyes and I think, okay, what would this organization look like if you just handed me, like just gave me the reins? I would make jw.org a subscription service. And that's how people would attend their meetings. I would liquidate all of the Kingdom Halls and invest in building assembly hall compounds all over the place. And I would quadruple the wealth of the organization in 5 years.
While he goes up to Bethel and like, I'm gonna go ahead and do Doge here, and I'm going to maximize your profits.
No, you know those guys ain't doing nothing.
Yeah. I wanted to bring out something here that Ro Villano said. They love pumping up the convention aspect. The city loves when they come into town. So that's all the, what do you call that? The Department of Public Relations, whatever that was called. All the most of their soft pieces are about the money that's coming into the city, and the Jehovah's Witnesses are coming to town again. All these friendly people, and then they interview somebody. I love the hugs and.
My favorite clip of all time.
Yeah. So yeah, they definitely like to.
It's the best PR thing that they've been trying to do. Every single, and when they have the assemblies, people still give them crap tons of money because they just put like a value on each person's head. I don't know that is.
That is a big money maker. Sorry, go ahead.
If they are like a greedy, hyper focused on making profit, if they end up going that route, I think that would be pretty logical. Because I mean, Kingdom Halls, they're cool, but you could just leverage the asset of the Kingdom Hall and take on whopping amounts of debt at very low interest rate, and you could do that to build a bunch of other stuff. But at a certain point, if you just don't have anyone inside the Kingdom Halls, like they're just kind of empty.
True.
What's the point?
But everybody goes to convention.
I don't know. Maybe it is. I know I'm defending myself, but because it sounds pretty stupid. But I could see it. I don't know.
Well, it's a tough one because how much is an average assembly hall going to be worth versus
like to build or
no, like value of a building versus what? How many congregations, how many individual Kingdom Halls would be in that region or that assembly hall?
Let's just say
circuit.
10.
Circuit.
Let's just say 10.
Okay. So average Kingdom Hall, what? Maybe $1.5 million, 2 million?
Just say $1 million for easy math.
Okay. So how much is an assembly hall going to be worth when they finally decide to sell it? Or they use it as collateral for a loan?
You wouldn't have to sell the assembly hall, though. Because then if you do run out of people, you just have yourself the easiest thing to like sell or to just operate, I should say. It was built with labor.
I misspoke. I shouldn't have said to sell, actually, as what you were talking about, to use as to get loans.
Yeah. I mean, it could be a convention center as well, though. Like, you just change it to a convention center. You don't even have to sell it. You can still own it. Operating a convention center tax-free? Like, it's ridiculous that they can even get away with what they do. I don't know.
That piece of real estate might be more valuable for loans than several Kingdom Halls. What do you think?
Maybe.
So that would fit that model of not worrying so much about Kingdom Halls and building more convention centers.
Yeah, I mean, only if they
Assembly
went
halls.
full like psycho on it, like I'm suggesting. But anyway, chat, what's your hot take? I want to know your hot take so I can make fun of you and tell you why you're wrong. I'm trying to get spicy around here.
Spicy.
You never told me what your direction that the organization is going, though, because I started. What's your vision of it?
Oh, more televangely. So, yeah.
In what way?
Less physical attendance and more online.
And then you start the subscription service. Just saying.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty good. I don't see any hot takes. No one has any hot takes. Come on, guys. The screen with the timer is also used to give messages across the speaker. More Zoom meetings. Yeah, I think Zoom meetings are cool. I saw there's a Defending Watchtower YouTube channel. It was pretty cool. I think I might make a video about it. I don't know if you've seen this guy, but I just opened YouTube and I saw one of my thumbnails, but it looked weird. And the channel was called Defending Watchtower. I should see if I could pull it up. Maybe
they were defending Watchtower using your thumbnail?
Yeah. He was like, these apostates, and what they're saying is they're always talking about how our kingdom halls are empty. But what you need to understand, classic elder language. But what you need to understand is that 40% of our people are on Zoom. And actually, this is a blessing, because if all of the people on Zoom were at the kingdom hall, there wouldn't be any room for guests.
The 17 to 20 people that are invited every week that show up at the meeting, I'm sure.
What is he on about? I was like, wait, guests? No one is a guest. I don't think he's ever been to a meeting before.
Like, how often did you see somebody who's a study show up at the meeting? Very rarely, right? Yeah.
Okay, do I have any hot takes here? Do you think Mark should be the first gospel? Sure.
The Gospel of Mark Sanderson.
Do you think JW will ever expose CSA if done by a JW in congregation? Do some JWs celebrate with piñatas? I have no idea about the piñata thing, but I know that here in Washington State, it was like no piñatas. Ayo chat, is this real? Yes. Mark isn't close to being the first gospel. I'm fine with that as well. I don't have no real skin in the game, if I'm honest. Do you think the JWs will ever expose CSA? I think it's inevitable that it will come to light, like what they knew. It's just unfortunate because I don't know how long we'll be waiting for everything to be revealed. It's like the Kennedy files. I feel like every 5 years we get, we're going to get the Robert Kennedy files. And then it's like more of the same thing. We're really going to figure it out. And it doesn't really, I don't know. So I
eventually just going to be, sorry.
No, go ahead. You can talk over
my
me.
brain.
I really don't care.
My brain says you must speak now or you will forget what you're going to say. You have 2 seconds. Fuck. Sorry.
You said a naughty word. It's all over.
I did. Sorry about that. Now, because I was explaining why I had to jump in and then I forgot what I was going to say.
It's all good. It's all good.
Okay.
If Ramapo is a production hub, then maybe becomes totally online. Eventually, subscription donation required. See, I don't think I'm as crazy as some people seem to think, because I see some people agreeing. Thank you, T. I appreciate you. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Thank you for the gifted membership. That was very kind of you. Wally, ever hear a podcast called Jesus Podcast? It is 2 people and they try to go to churches, then make fun of them and doctrines. Interesting podcast. That sounds like me when I was like a r/atheist person and thought I was smarter than everyone else by making fun of their beliefs. I don't know if that's really like kind of the vibe I have in my life at this point. It's kind of like try and let people do their thing. I don't have any skin in the game. If it makes you happy, you're not hurting anyone. Carry on. While your videos are life-changing and so healing as an ex-JW, I'm so glad I was kicked out at 19 and seeing an Indian non-JW guy seek religion. I would see him without a chaperone. Ooh, you would see him without a chaperone. Naughty, naughty, naughty. Wally, stay on your grind. Based Sigma. Dog, I have no idea what you just said, but I like the gas. So we're gonna accept that.
This one's for my son. Someone's being skibbity sus.
Oh boy. Do you still keep in touch with Darth Magog? I wouldn't say keep in touch, and I don't know why he stopped uploading. I think he was just taking a break, but I think he's still around. I see him pop in and leave a comment here and there. My brain has farts. Cool. Hi, Wally, and hi, Jonathan. Hello. Don D. I don't think that they will get rid of Kingdom Halls. They need to keep an eye on you and keep you exhausted. That's like the single biggest hole in my hypothesis. I think is like it kind of destroys the whole concept of what it means to be a Jehovah's Witness. So my little goofy theory, I think, would be an absolute like end game. Like this is where they're going to just like everything's going to stop. It's all over. And it would be like the final money grab at the very, very end. But yeah, if they're trying to keep their religion seeming like it's afloat, then yeah, my hypothesis is about as dumb as it could possibly be. So yeah.
Seeing the Kingdom Halls does keep the public aware that they exist still.
Because no one cares, yeah.
Well, nobody's going to the doors anymore.
You just released a debut single? Cool, send it to me in an email. Let me check it out. You're married to the Indian guy now? Awesome. Congratulations. Married for 2 years. That's super cool. There you have it, folks. If you go on a date unchaperoned, you too can get married.
To an Indian guy.
Yeah. Anyway, that exhausts my topic. Jonathan, let us discuss your topic. Hold on. You ready? Are you ready? Full camera? Fancy. I know, guys. I know. Pretty cool. Oh, you're contemplating.
Well, I was trying. We talked about this earlier, and then I went shopping.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So I didn't get back as soon as I wanted to put some thought into this topic, but. If I remember correctly, I was talking about the current political spectrum today is just very volatile. And so you have this group of conservatives, if you will, that aren't allowed to vote, but they have to sit back and basically wait for the world to burn down around them. Because they're waiting for the new system to come. And they have no ability to affect change in their own communities because they're just simply not allowed to have a political voice.
Even you're saying like in their sphere, like even in the Jehovah's Witness political sphere, they're kind of just the silent majority.
Yeah, because if you were to talk about something political in a Kingdom Hall, you might get counseled. By an elder because, we have to stay neutral, brother. And if you're a ministerial servant or an elder or something, like you could honestly get in trouble for having political views.
I think there are people with political views though that express them.
You think so?
The only reason I say that is I have this weird obsession with watching every single second of conventions. And during the conventions, there are always at least 3 or 4 talks that specifically reference people not getting involved in politics, not having anything to say about it, and not voicing those opinions. Just to correlate that to something else, there's also talks about people watching pornography. I think the reason that there's a talk about it is because
they do it.
Problem, and it's something
that is a fair point. Yeah, they wouldn't warn against saying those things if people were silent. I don't know
if it's like people like really will stand on their soapbox and like preach. Then I think they'll get counseled for it. Anyway,
You think you think that happens? There's got to be somebody out there in a congregation that is just that kind of personality where they're just, let me tell you,
yeah,
this local governor here or this mayor or whatever,
mm-hmm.
has something to say, and it offends somebody in the congregation because they know they're supposed to say apolitical.
They keep telling me my volume seems low still.
That's weird.
Is it on the right? Oh, I just wanted to stream and have a good time and have a goofy, silly good time, and for it to all be fun and have a good time. This seems egregiously loud. Does this feel better? Does this feel
that is
better?
Louder.
Yes, Wally, your volume seems low.
That's better.
I used to lay carpet with an elder, and he listened to Rush Limbaugh and conservative radio all day, every day. That's actually interesting. I don't think I've ever heard a Jehovah's Witness listening to like political radio things. My volume is better. Okay,
Better.
well, if it's too loud for you, then turn your volume down. I don't know. I'm just going to... Actually, you know what? Hold on one second. I'm going to grab a marker and put it right here so I never forget to do this ever again. And I'll know exactly where to put it. Hold on. I'll be right back. Continue with your thought about political things.
So he's going to like tape a stick to the mic so his face touches the stick and he knows that's the perfect distance. I think that's what he should do. As far as politics are concerned, though, you're not supposed to voice your opinion, but you think about all the instances where they're talking about the king of the north and the king of the south, and the political system is going to go after, the organization, go after churches. So they still have a political view, but you are not allowed to have a dissenting opinion. You have to agree with what they say. And if you voice a different opinion, then they get on your case about it. But, the politics today, say in the United States, Canada, or where else, it's not perfect. There's problems. Every time you get a new guy, they are talking about how terrible they did the last time, and they got to get somebody new. And it's not perfect, but it kind of works. And it's nice to be able to have a part in picking, the political leaders, and to throw your support on the issues that you agree with, and to be able to vote against those that you don't. But your hands are tied as a witness, and you just have to deal with whatever comes out. So, if you're in an area where there's violence, political violence, you could be caught up in that. And there's nothing you can do about it, because you just have to, it's just the time of the end, and it's the, what was I thinking of?
What do you think the effect of that is when people finally do wake up and leave?
Oh, the effect.
The effect it has, like someone grows up with this handcuffed, no say, no voice, and they're just used to that being very normative. Oh wait, I gotta switch cams. Hold on. Did the wrong one. Whoops. Now the chat one's not working. Oh well, it's fine. What do you think the effect is on like ex-witnesses? Do you think they carry same mentality with them?
I think they can. I think you get extremes to where either you're like, well, this is the way it's always been, and it's been fine, and the place is on fire, the dog sitting in the flaming room, like it's fine. Or you become, you start waving signs and really going for it and talking about your political views, and they can be, pretty loud, because you grew up in that mindset, and you're just like, well, I got to get out of that, and you really go to town and become a political activist almost.
Yeah, I feel to a certain extent, I think someone said it, Brandy Cotton. I agree, like, people will sit back on the sidelines, but they still do form opinions. So I think, like, the type of political thinker that you are probably was growing even when you were a witness, like the guy that was an elder and, you know, cleaning carpets and listening to Rush Limbaugh all day. Because, like, I know for me, I went through, like, phases of when I started to actively think about politics and what do I think about things, and just, like, coming up with, like, solutions to problems and things like that. And, you know, I was 18 years old, and if you would have, like, had a private conversation and told me you weren't going to go to the elders, I would have, you know, really been telling you about all of the evils of capitalism and why socialism was the real answer to everything. And, you know, then I got a little bit older, and I grew some out of some of those ideas. And I feel like you have some type of political arc still, even as a witness. Or is that just me? Maybe that's just me.
Rephrase your question.
Do you think that as a Jehovah's Witness, you were sitting back and still forming some type of political, because you're aware of it, you watch the news, you kind of know what's going on, or would you actually do as they told you and reject it?
No, I think that people do form an opinion, because, as you said, they wouldn't have talks saying don't do that unless people were doing it. I mean, even in their dramas, you know, like the kids watching the news program and saying the stock market crashed and there's violence in the streets and whatever, he's like, that's bad. And then, you know, the other brother's like, well, don't worry about it, we'll be fine because we know the end's coming. And, you know, they see it. They got to have some sort of an opinion about it.
Yeah, but it's just the actionable aspect.
Now, what they do with that opinion, I don't know.
I think they bury it and stuff it, like, right in their colon, honestly.
It's in a mason jar out in the backyard.
Yeah. It's like a swear jar, but it's like your opinion jar. Well, that is the most depressing mental image ever. But that is so true. Instead of a swear jar, it's like when you have an opinion, you have to just write it down, put it in a jar, and then go and bury it in the backyard. Because you can't.
I can just see you writing down your opinion, then you put a little salt and you just just eat it.
I think one of the major effects of all that, because, you know, if they do form opinions or not, I suppose would just be up to however you like to think about it. There's probably no wrong or right way to think about it. But I think one of the biggest effects is that no one has, becoming an ex-witness, leaving that, is no one has developed the tools for engaging in political debate. And I feel like this might just be a personal thing. I feel like the world in general is really bad, and I mean really bad, at having political conversations. If you want to take it a little step farther, I think people are really bad at having just conversations in general with people that they don't agree with. I think just like...
Oh, yeah. They can turn into a fight real quick.
Yeah. And I think it's somehow even worse than it is on a national... America, but I think it's somehow worse for ex-witnesses because they haven't grown up having those conversations, being challenged before, presenting evidence for something that they might, you know, believe in.
Right.
And I mean, maybe I don't want to, like, get you so far off topic here, but I think that is part of the reason why people, especially within the ex-Jehovah's Witness, like, community, will usually just shy away from ever saying anything. Which, I mean, I'm the same way. I don't really like to get involved in it because it's just like lighting a fire on kerosene, right? And you just know you're going to just, like, split people right down the middle, and everyone's just going to be shouting and yelling at each other. And I just was like, I just kind of think, like, there is a better way to do it. It is possible to have political disagreements, but that seems almost impossible in today's world. And within the ex-Jehovah's Witness world, where people haven't grown up having those conversations and developing those skills, I think it's slightly worse. Is that just me like making stuff up in my head, or?
No, I agree.
Huh. So how do we change that?
If you don't, I don't know.
Or even if you don't change it, or it's not we changing it, but like us collective as a group, like what are the steps that you take to have those conversations?
Hey, is Ruby still in here? I know she does political stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I saw her earlier. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess just more conversations. That's the thing, because, you know, you can have one viewpoint and the person has another, and they're not necessarily both right or both wrong. They're just a difference of opinion. You know, like someone on the left and the right don't have to get into a swinging match because one holds these views and one holds the other. As long as you can show us respect and decency.
I think part of it comes from some people on the far spectrum of either side.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would probably say the far spectrum of the right. Like when you go way out there, you start having ideas that are just infringing on human rights. It becomes a point where I don't think that this person should have this right, or your people are forcing like their opinion that has an actual tangible effect. It goes out of the realm of opinion, and it goes to affecting a particular groups of people. So LGBTQ people, like, there are issues when you say, well, we should respect, people's opinions. I agree with that. Yes, true. Absolutely, we should hear them. But when I'm talking about the 80, 90%, on the edges of the 5%. Okay, I can't take that super seriously. Like if I want to talk about, why my favorite show is Lost or something. It's not my favorite show, but just as an example. And someone wants to say, oh, well, the real meaning of Lost is because of the deep state in this and blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to listen to that because it's insane. It's crazy. Like Lost has no commentary about the deep state and how there's going to be some global takeover by some secret Illuminati group. I'm sorry, but the production of the show Lost has nothing to do with that. Sure, that's your opinion, but I don't have time or space or energy in my mind to be engaging in those. So I think you can have opinions that are just way, way out there and just beyond anything that's recognizable as functional in the real world. But I don't really think that's what we're talking about. Does that make sense? Have I said that in a way that makes any type of sense, or?
I think so.
Huh?
Yeah.
No, chat. Have I just gone off the rail? Is it all over? Are we cooked? Are we finally cooked? Yeah. I feel like most people can be reached as well. I'll just, if you want a little Wally advice about how to engage with someone that maybe has a different opinion as you, I think about trying to reach someone who is an alcoholic, right? And if you go up to them and say, I know that you beat your wife, and I know that you run over children with your car going through school zones because you're an alcoholic. Do you think that that's going to be an effective way of reaching them? To take the most extreme examples for someone that might be, have this disease, and take the absolute most extreme and apply it to that person. Will that be effective in reaching them? I don't think any rational person would ever say yes. I mean, if they did, get your head examined. The way to approach it that would be more effective is with compassion and understanding. And I think when we have political debates, trying to avoid that, oh, you're a fiscal conservative, so that means women shouldn't have rights. Well,
yeah, that'll go over well.
Yeah, cool. Yep, that's exactly what I think. Yep, that's what I said. I feel like that's what happens a lot because maybe people haven't had the opportunity. I don't know. Does chat, no one's saying anything. I think I scared everyone away. Oh boy. What have I done?
They all left.
Yeah.
2 people in chat now.
It's fine. It would happen eventually. As a huge feminist, when I was a JW, it was so hard and frustrating to just let the men lead and tell women what to do. Now as an ex-JW, I'm a proud, conscious feminist. I'm glad that you are happy and that you have found a voice and that you can use it. Jordan says poop. I agree. W take Wally? Okay.
Are we taking requests now?
You just like political dates still make me stressed because conflict makes me upset and anxious. Yeah, I hear you. I definitely hear you. I do think that there is a way that political debates happen that are probably stress-inducing. Maybe it's not the debate in and of itself or the very nature of it, but, you know. Life is about perception. Their viewpoint is true and right to them. The way our own person viewpoints are valid to us, too. Yeah, that's probably, like, the best thing, too. And I guess, like, I kind of mess around with some of the concepts of like Buddhism and changing and adjusting your perceptions, or just even becoming aware that your perceptions, you know, might be biased, and that sometimes you can shift those and disassociate yourself from those. Or you could go to a doctor and he could prescribe ketamine, and that would also give you the exact same dissociative disorder as doing some Zen Buddhism. Different ways of the same place.
Bottled Zen.
Yeah, anyway, I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. Anyway, was that your whole political thing, or did I just completely derail this entirely?
Oh, I think I derailed it coming out of the station, but yeah. So, but as far as like, people should be able to. Okay, going back to the point about the political debates causing anxiety that was in the chat. That's, I think, because you can present the issues and talk about that, but it always comes down to mudslinging and basically a giant fight. You know, the Dems this and the Republicans that, and it's just a whole lot of infighting and like outfighting and just fighting, all kinds of fighting. But if you address the real issues, that's what needs to be dealt with, not the name calling and not the, you know. Get what I'm saying?
Well, when you spend so much time fighting each other, you stop fighting the problem, or like the environment that creates the problem.
Absolutely,
and the people that are creating the problem for profit are sitting there laughing at you like, wow, you guys just really don't get it, do you? You guys think that the real issue is between the left and the right. That's hilarious. That's hilarious that you don't see the actual issues between the top and the bottom. I guess that's exercise in non-linear thinking, right? This is why I started a political show, to cover some topics that we normally wouldn't ever talk about. Yeah, I think that could just be like a powder keg, just ready to ignite, no doubt. But I don't know. I wish you the best on your endeavors. The issue is wanting others to conform to our worldview, but then wanting them to conform to ours. Yeah, I think instead of just looking at it like, well, no, I have the solution, and this is how, it's like, well, no, how can we have the solution?
Right.
Because I don't think, as far as like I look at America, and every single person I talk to thinks our healthcare system is broken. Fundamentally, outrageously broken. And we've known it for so long. And there are actual data points that we can look at and like, I do a couple things, we might be able to fix this. But everyone just wants to argue amongst themselves about things that are not the issue. Well, you want to do this because of that. I don't know.
And
what'd you say? I hit the wrong button.
What'd you do?
I keep hitting the wrong buttons. I don't know. I'm chilling. $10. Thank you very much.
Woo-hoo.
I appreciate that. I don't know if the little thing's going to play because I was on the wrong scene. And you guys told me not to read out alerts. So, you want to know something that's broken that no one is talking about? Social Security. Without a doubt, it is the greatest thing facing our country in the next decade when it will become insolvent. Yeah, when you start tapping into Social Security to pay for other stuff, the math stops mathing. And when inflation goes haywire and cattywampus, the math stops mathing. And then you're going to really start having to borrow a lot of money at 4% interest through treasury notes. And that math will really, really stop mathing very quickly. I wouldn't know, though. Culty Talk. Conspiracy just means 2 or more people in agreement on any topic. I don't know what that means. Not going to lie. Conspiracy just means 2 or more people in agreement on any topic? Wait, in Canada, do you guys have Social Security?
Yeah.
Like, does it look different?
No.
Oh, I understand. I got you.
Retirement, they get money.
Oh, okay.
They pay into it. So, same deal. Taxes are a little bit higher, but we've got some good things here. The healthcare system is decent. I mean, some people argue it's terrible, but from my personal experience, how much I would have paid had I been in the United States for the things that happened with my kid and that sort of thing, I'd be very, very broke.
Yeah. I think the greatest demonstration of how broken our healthcare system is there was a guy in California, and he had to get a ride from an EMT to a hospital, and he didn't have his insurance card with him, and so we got the bill, and it was for $500. And then he called them and said, "Oh, I don't think you guys know I had insurance, so here's my insurance information." So they took it, they sent him a new bill, and it was $850. And he was like, "Wait, well, we applied a discount for you for a non-insured person." He was like, "So what you're telling me is that I have to pay double because I have insurance?" I was like, "Yep." I was like, "Yeah,
that's ridiculous."
That is the greatest example of just how fundamentally upside down our healthcare system is. You pay for something, so it's more expensive. Imagine like you pay for the Costco membership, and when you go there, all the groceries are more expensive. Like, would anyone do that? No, but does everyone just deal with our healthcare system? Absolutely not. Oh God, yeah. Healthcare here is way better than what I had when I grew up in the U.S. Best move ever. Oh, fellow Canadian, Brandy Cotton. Shout outs to Canada.
Ooh.
Shout outs to Canada.
Oh, you moved to Canada. Oh, an expat as well.
Yeah, see?
Nice.
Thank you, I'm chilling. I appreciate the $10. He said,
yeah, when I first...
Oh, sorry.
So go ahead.
He said the live stream was dope, and there was a little alien on it. And I think aliens are real neat. So I appreciate you. Thank you.
Aliens are neat. Like, when I first came to Ontario, my ex had to have surgery on her shoulder. So that was like months after moving there. And my thought was, this is going to cost me a ton of money, because I'm used to got to pay a copay, whatever. And they're just like, nah, it's covered. I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't know what to do with that. And then surgeries that my son has had to have, open heart surgery and cataract surgery and stents and that sort of thing. If that was done in the States, I can't even imagine how expensive that would be. I would probably be in the hole for, millions of dollars when you add it all together, but I'm not. So, as far as the healthcare system here is, I kind of like it.
Yeah. I remember anyway, it doesn't much matter. Sig said I pay $1,200 a month for health insurance. And I'm way ahead if I were to have had to pay out of pocket.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I think insurance companies should just be, this is just another Wally hot take. I think those things they are so bloated and out of control. And some of the biggest highest profit companies that exist in America, I think they're just an actual scam. Like, there's no way for them to lose. And they have the backing and support of the government. I don't understand how insurance companies should just be able to exist the way. But anyway, that's my hot take for another day. I won't rant about my hatred of insurance companies. Sorry if you work in insurance, but actually not really. I'm sure you don't own the company, so it's a little bit different.
Wally hates you.
Yeah. Can you talk to people for a while? I'm going to pull up this this video that I was talking about with
Sure. So in my political thoughts, if you have a certain point of view and another person has another point of view, you should be able to have a discourse that doesn't involve a whole lot of like name calling and, you know, basically disrespecting the other side. And I mean, let people live. So if an issue affects you personally and affects the people that you care about personally, then that's something you're going to have something to say about that. But if it doesn't affect you, then why make it an issue? Like, let people live. Like, I don't, you know, like, who cares what bathroom someone's peeing in, that kind of thing. Or, you know, I can't, I'm trying to think of something.
Just completely discounts the idea that there might be like people that are attracted to the same sex. It's like, oh, I don't want someone staring at me. Like, you realize that someone that has the same gender as you might be using that toilet as well. And also, how often do you ever go into a bathroom and you just like see someone out there swinging meat? Like, it doesn't really happen. It's not like you just walk in there and
there
it's
was
like
this one time. There was this one time I was working and this guy had to go so bad that he literally whipped it out as he came into the bathroom and was peeing on the floor.
Oh, God.
I'm like, dude, that's when you know you really got to go.
That sounds traumatizing.
It was a little traumatizing. I'm pretty sure he just finished up and booted out the door because he was embarrassed. But I was like, oh, that's different. Glad I don't have to. Glad I didn't have to clean the floor. And I can't think. Like I'm sure if I took some time to think about it, I could come up with something that would be considered an opposite issue that would be something that someone on the left would have a problem with. But I can't think of it right now. But what I'm saying is, it's if your rights and your ability to do something aren't affecting others, then it should be fine. But once it becomes an issue that is harming others, I don't know what I'm talking about.
I mean, I think I hear you.
Yeah. And that's all I have to say on that.
So your basic message to the great people of YouTube is don't be a dick?
Yeah, that works. I like it.
Oh, wait. Did I just put this on screen prematurely? Sorry, I just cut you off.
That's okay.
Do you want to see this video? It's really funny.
Yeah, go for it.
Anyway. Well, I don't want to like ruin your mojo if you were cooking.
I didn't have much mojo going today.
Oh, it's fine, man. Well, you know, Sig agrees. He says, I think EXwitnessawake is dumb.
What?
Then he said, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
It's all good. It's all good. Anyway, moving right along, I've decided that we're going to watch this video. The thumbnail was just my one of my thumbnails, but kind of weird. And I don't know why he films his videos in like this goofy way.
I don't think I'm going to be able to hear this video.
You aren't going to be able? Why wouldn't you be able to?
Because I'm just Streamlabs.
You should be able to.
See you. And I just see me.
No, because when I turn this on, you're not going to be able to talk during it.
That's fine.
So I'm gonna mute you. Wait, say something. Say something. Okay, so if I mute you, then you guys. Okay, I think you should be able to hear this. Tell me if you can. Thumbs up if you can.
So Jehovah's Witnesses, this is following on because there's all kinds.
Can you hear that? What'd you say?
Mute me, and I will listen to it on the stream.
Oh, okay.
What the hell you're talking about?
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Boom. Are you guys ready? We are going to listen to this guy defend Watchtower against my claims that meetings are dead and people are. Anyway, just watch. It's a good laugh.
Being made on the YouTube. Jehovah's Witnesses are disappearing. Tens of thousands leave each year. The downfall has already started. Witnesses disappearing. Jehovah's organisation going up in smoke. So, and it goes on and on and on. So, what is really happening? And then they say, well, everybody's leaving, you know, no one's staying at the meetings. But ask any Jehovah's Witness, and their Kingdom Halls, the Kingdom Hall where I live, is relatively full, and there's a large number, at least 30% who are on Zoom. So if everybody on Zoom and everybody at the meeting was there, there wouldn't be room for visitors in their seats, you know. So there wouldn't be room for visitors in their seats, you know.
So I just that actually like blows my noodle, because I think sometimes I do honestly and genuinely forget how completely delusional witnesses actually are, and they can almost convince themselves of anything. You're not muted still, by the way.
Okay.
Anyway, what do you think about that? I just want to know before I start rambling about it.
It was kind of ridiculous, honestly. Yeah, because it's just like this. Well, they're disappearing.
Ask
that God's rain for all the visitors. You don't have any visitors.
Huge echo. Oh, I did it again. Man, I gotta turn that off. Yes. I know there's an echo. Yes, I know. Yes, I got it. I'm on it. I know. Yes, welcome back, Colty. You came back to a horrible echo because I am a bozo-brained person. The problem is on Jonathan's end. It's definitely not on his end. It is 100% on my end. Sig says keep the echo. Anyway, I just don't understand like how you can be so confident in saying that, well, the real reason that, you know, the Kingdom Halls look a little more empty than they used to. I mean, you can ask any Jehovah's Witness and they're still full. I mean, just look at my Kingdom Hall, it's full. But the real reason is because people are on Zoom. How could you convince yourself that that is so real as a witness that you're willing to go and put out a rebuttal on YouTube? Like, you're not just talking about something you thought about when you were taking a shit in the morning. It's not just like, oh, I was vacuuming and I was listening to something on YouTube and an apostate just came on, and it's not just like something in the back of your head. You actually have to actively think, no, I'm going to set this up. I'm going to get the lights going. I'm going to put on my little tie. I'm going to edit this. I don't know what his little setup is, why he's just like filming his camera, but that's neither here nor there. How on earth does a mind go through that many steps and come out on the other side of that with the answer of, I mean, it's Zoom. That's why the Kingdom Halls look empty. It's just Zoom.
That's just foresight from Jehovah. You know, he planned it that way. No, he did not.
It's actually unbelievable. It really, really threw me for a loop. He's so funny. That's why no one's at the hall. They all on Zoom watching. Yep, exactly. And yeah, why is he reacting to an apostate video? I guess, like, maybe that's, like, his hobby. Oh, wait. I think I added the echo again. Whoops. I think...
That's my favorite thing to remind apologists is you're not listening to David Splain, are you? What are you doing in this here apostate website?
See, everyone always says that. When, like, a Jehovah's Witness, like, comments on the channel, everyone always, like, jumps on them and starts, like, beating them over the head with the baguettes of hey, I thought you weren't supposed to listen to this. And I just think, like, how fascinating that you're here. Like, I'm so curious, like, what brought you here? Like, what has gotten you to this location? Anyway, I haven't listened to any more than that, but let's see what else he has to say. Okay, this time, I'm going to get it right, people. I'm going to mute Jonathan. I'm going to unmute the desktop audio so you guys can hear it. All right? Are we all good? Are we all doing good? Fine. Good. Great. Grand. Wonderful. And now that all of that is done, I guess we could full screen this dude.
Online Zoom is a really good facility because it enables the Jehovah's Witnesses who are not so well to be at home, to keep their germs at home or their disability, but they can still be involved. They can still answer up and be involved in the what you would might call the church activities, which is rather nice for them, isn't it? If you're an old dear or something, so that's nice. Now, numbers. Are hundreds of thousands leaving? Well, every year, some 100,000 used to leave Jehovah's Witnesses anyway. They were disciplined, thrown out, as it were, or they just left, you know. While that's happening, people are coming in, you know. Often there are 250,000 baptisms every year. Some of those will be converts and some will be people's children growing up. So there's always been an increase. Now, it's true, increases had slowed down considerably.
Okay.
From Jehovah's organisation right through from the 20s right up to the year 2000 was increasing at 5% a year annually. Now it's the best increase that any religious organisation has seen in the world. Sadly, since
Wait, hold on. I unmute this. And then Thoughts?
Is it 5% though?
I don't think roughly. Not anymore. It used to be.
I don't think so. Not in the current spectrum.
No way. Since like 2000. When was the last time they had 5%? It was like in the 2000s.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah, I think it's like 2000.
And he's acknowledging like all the people that are disfellowshipped too. Hundreds of thousands, just
they walk away, but it's fine because hundreds of thousands get baptized. And I'm like thinking, like, you just said that hundreds of thousands,
and it's their kids too.
It's
their kids.
Now you're saying that maybe 250,000, 250,000, get baptized. You've just described 0% growth. Like, in your own words, you've just said that multiple hundreds of thousands are leaving. Only 250,000 are coming in. I am so baffled by his logic. It's like when that SpongeBob episode when SpongeBob's like, write this down, and Patrick's just like playing tic-tac-toe by himself, like just completely missing the point about everything. Why? Anyway, sorry. Let's finish this. Okay, and then we do this. I'm getting good at this now.
Since 2000, the increase went slowly down to about 1.3% per year.
Okay.
After COVID, it was really quite bad. So it was 1.3-ish% annual increase, which is not good. But after COVID, by the year 2024, increase is 2.4%. 2.4, which is the best since we passed the 2000 year mark. So increase is slowly recovering. And remember, the 2024 service year is actually the 2023 one. So the 2024 the proper one will be even more. 8.8 million, but the peak publishers was 9 million. The number of people attending Memorial was around about 22 million. But that will have been a year or so ago. So the very latest figures will be more. So I'm guessing it's...
He's going with a boredom strategy. If I just keep saying numbers that aren't directly correlated to the thing I'm talking about, maybe people will start to believe me. I've even lost the plot now, and I have a pretty good attention span.
Closer to 24, 25 million who attend Jehovah's Witnesses meeting. It's a
Yep. Gotcha.
So he said something about 5%, but then he's talking about it's the best it's been since the 2000s at 1 point something or other. So
1.3,
his numbers are not
2.4.
mathing.
Yeah, and just because you had 1 year when people were able to finally get baptized, and maybe you had some backlog because of no conventions,
Right.
and it was mostly children, let's be completely honest.
Yeah.
That's nothing to write home about. No one was able to go and attend a convention in person, so you had to just people waiting. I would really hope if I was a Jehovah's Witness and I cared anything about analytics whatsoever, I would have hoped to see like 7 to 10% growth in that time, just because obviously no one was getting baptized
Because of the
for a year and
backlog?
a half or 2 years. Yeah. I think that would have been like, oh, okay, our organization, we had a little dip there during COVID, but, we're back on track. But if I came out and I saw 2.5%, I'd be like, what? Yeah, that's crazy. Sorry, I'm catching up on chat. This is why if I were to be a believer, I'd be Jewish. They don't care what you believe if you go to the synagogue as long as you're a decent person. Sure, I'm down. Ruby, that's the problem. They talk numbers because they want to sound smart, but they have no idea what the numbers mean. True. Update number 3 delayed. That's what I heard. I know it is 5 studies, as was mentioned quite recently, and me seeing the same faces was confirmed. Oh, maybe that's responding to someone else. Tony Morris is being forgotten like Brother Franz was when he got removed. Like all the new people coming in won't even remember. That's the problem with the digital media, is they can just kind of like erase him. And then any new people, any kids that are born into it, they'll like, Tony Morris, who's this tight pants dude? They won't even believe you. And it's so much easier to retroactively go back and say, oh no, apostates, they're just lying about that. They're just making it up because you've erased the media entirely.
If only there was a group of people who would catalog that stuff.
Yeah. Who just have hundreds and hundreds of these 512 gigabyte thumbsticks that they just pile up, and when anytime something comes out, we just download it right away and we remember. Anyway, okay, let me finish this guy yapping. Okay, and then I'm gonna turn you off and then turn this. There's got to be a more efficient way to do this, but today this is what you guys get.
peak, and the number of preachers exceeds 9 million. So I don't quite think, how are we going up in smoke? One of the videos actually said on the cover, they said, by the end of 2025, there won't be Jehovah's Witnesses. So, let's wait.
What the hell is this guy talking about? If someone said that, they were just like baiting you. No one in their right mind would have said, there's not going to be Jehovah's Witnesses in 2025.
Wait and see. I'm sure he will go quiet when we get to December the 31st, 2025.
And you have to understand like what a lot of people mean. Like when I say the end of Jehovah's Witnesses, a lot of times I'm very like specific about this. I say that the organization will so fundamentally changed that like you're only a Jehovah's Witness in the name. All of the rules, the doctrine, the leaders will have changed. It'll be a new era of Watchtower. And is it really the same organization anymore, or is it just the name? So I don't know. That's kind of how I think about it. So is the organization still around in 2025? I mean, low key, kind of, sort of. Like, you have to ask yourself, new governing body members, rules on beards, no Tony Morris, you're not having to turn in your time anymore, the meetings are changing, preaching is just standing next to carts now. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because, 1940s JWs were so different from 1980s JWs and 90s JWs, and now you have the JW.org era. It's like it might as well be a different religion.
Don't sweat it, Alpha. Have I heard about Mark O'Donnell? I have heard about it. I have not talked to him. So, that's all I can say. But I probably should reach out and make sure he's doing okay. Hey, Godly Beard, what's going on? Anyway, okay. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. I'm getting better. I'm getting better.
So, I think this is wishful thinking. Because Jehovah's Witnesses' policies worldwide are becoming more kinder, more loving, that God is a God of mercy, that's been really, really hard.
Dude, you just admitted that your religion sucked before. This guy really needs to get a grip. Get that toupee off your head and get a grip, brother.
There's lots of information on this channel and its sister channels. So take care, and I'll see you again, hopefully. And if you've got any comments, you've got questions, just ask. I will probably refer you to a section or a video that I've done on it already.
All right. I wonder what the comments are going to be. Hold on, I gotta unmute you. Will you be doing a Norway update? You know Norway are taking the Watchtower back to court and appealing. What is this? You said don't make your own assumptions and stop writing lies. When it didn't make any assumption or even a lie, it was a simple question. But as always, I think someone was deleting comments. I think that is what has happened here, because I think we're in the middle of something.
Oh. I wasn't paying attention.
Still to this day, I've only ever deleted one YouTube comment ever. And it was just because someone saying some racist stuff. And I was like, I just saw it and I'm like, okay, well, that's annoying. I think that's pretty good. Good job, people.
The guy's like, hopefully I'll see you again. Hopefully they won't put me back in the library and give me the business for watching apostate stuff.
Yeah, he must be pretty confident that he's just nothing bad's going to happen. I can count about over 20 who had left JWs in my area in the past 2 years, including my family of 4. Well, oh really? And you are proud of your relatives leaving the Jehovah's Witnesses? This is truly the last days? I challenge you to a debate. We could even do it on Zoom. Wow. That's big. That's interesting. Anyway, doesn't really matter. I found that to be pretty interesting. What is happening? Anyway.
Marvelous.
Wait, we missed the little cool dance. Thank you, T. Wow. Thank you so much for the generosity. I appreciate you, T. Shout outs to T. T, you and me, we're going to have some tea, and it'll be hibiscus. Well, Jonathan, I have taken an hour and a half of your time. I'm going to give you...
You monster.
I'm going to give you the microphone, the platform. You can tell people where they can find you. After stream, I will link stuff in the description. Tell people about your short stories, what you have planned, and all of that good stuff.
Well, what I have planned. You can find me at EXwitnessawake on YouTube. I don't really do much in the way of TikTok anymore because I had a channel and it got deleted. And after about 900 videos, it just sort of, I was like, nah, I'm out. So I don't really deal with that anymore.
Your TikTok got deleted? I didn't know that.
Yeah. I just got, I don't know. One day I tried to log in and like, no, it's gone. Great. That was a great 2-year run. Bye.
That's cool.
So yeah, it kind of sucked. So I just do YouTube stuff. I haven't been doing as much on the EXwitnessawake channel lately because I've been concentrating more on my creative endeavors. I have another channel called Telltale's Universe, which I write short stories, and I'm in the middle of making a animated movie. So I'm using AI to create the images and to animate them. So it's going to be a fully, it's a movie. But the story that I've written came out of my brain, and the voices are all actual people, myself and some guest voices. So that is becoming my legacy. I feel like, as it's been like 2 months in the making. But generally, my idea is to write a short story and then post it, and hopefully people enjoy.
Well, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Will you come back and
Sure.
help me do co-hosting thing? This is still the beta version, guys. We're still in beta. Okay, I say we need at least like 4 episodes, and then you'll start actually making things make sense. I have a couple of ideas that are pretty good. I'll just run them by you real quick. But I thought of like having a trivia, a guess that lyric for either JW broadcasting things or just like songs. Maybe that could be kind of a fun little thing. Anyway, games and silliness, just to have different segments that people can be looking forward to here on JW Talks Beta. I'll probably hate it tomorrow and change it, but that's okay. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me, and I will talk to you later, good sir. Enjoy your evening.
Bye.
And then wait, guys, check this out. You guys ready? What do you think of that? What'd you think of that transition? Thoughts? Bye, everyone. Oh no, this is where the stream starts, because we have technical difficulties to actually work out here. Okay. How did we feel about the stream today? Thoughts? Wally, that was Flash? What was Flash? Nice. Dope man. Smooth transition. I like that. Nice one, Wally. Okay. I like that. That's what I'm talking about. Love the transitions. Good stream. What platform you use to live stream? I use Streamlabs. I don't know if that's a platform, but that's like the software that I use. All the new changes you had. Yeah. Well, we still have another one to work out. So let us add in this, because I feel like this has potential, but it just wasn't. I didn't have enough time to really fiddle around with it. Okay. How can we utilize camera number 2? And I would assume that I can make camera number 2 be a little less completely washed out. Obviously, it's not the same good quality as my normal Canon one. Who is that person on the right? That's me. Maybe some music. Good comms. ZZ Cam. I did think about that. So like this is like super mobile. I can just kind of go wherever with it. I did think about having a ZZ Cam, but that's assuming that he's in the room, and that's also assuming that he's not biting me, and use it for emergency. You need a camera that you're looking at us. So that's the tough part. So now let the beta testing begin. First live I've ever caught. Keep doing what you're doing. Oh, we didn't have the... Oh, shoot. We don't have the alert box. Hold on. Hold on. We've missed a critical detail here in the whole thing. Where is this? Where? What? Video capture, media contents. What? Media categories? Media. I don't know what's happening. Oh. Boom. I'll add that right there. Thank you for the $5, Jazz. I much appreciate that. If you were wondering why I had a minor freak out there, it's because I spent like 2 hours making a bunch of GIFs so that they play on screen and that they're a little goofy and silly. And that would have been our first time to trigger one. And I am a bozo, So you guys didn't get to see what that one was, because I tried to make them all different. Anyway, we will get it next time. So, back to the task at hand. If you get a green screen, some of you can have a similar global pattern that JW Broadcasting uses in the background. Yeah, I mean, I have a green screen I could use, but I really like my background. More people on the stream in my meetings? That's funny. So, like, how do I get this camera to actually be like I'm looking at you? Like, I would feel like I would have to, like, attach it, like, here. Like, halfway up the thing. Which is kind of difficult. Hopefully you guys can see in my other camera, or maybe you can't. Here, let me move this one. Minicam. Move over here, minicam. So, like, this is one of my monitors. Yeah, Jazz, again, thank you. It's God flossing. I thought it was funny. Thank you very much, Jazz. I appreciate you. That was the other ones that I've made. How am I gonna do this? I just realized that that one is me playing with Goose, but he's so dark. Thank you, Joel. I appreciate you. Oh no, now my camera's... oh, my camera, everything's gone cattywampus again. Thank you, Jelena. I appreciate you. Hold on, team. Hold on, people. I think I figured it out. Okay. And then, can I turn this? I'm like having to like hook it onto the... Okay, hold on. Let me fix my other camera. Okay. We're plugging the battery in. Thank you, Jelena. I appreciate you. I love your attitude and sense of humor. It's the only thing that you can control in life, is having a good attitude. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see, but there's like a... I have like a little... my little extra camera hooked onto the side of the monitor now. So, hypothetically, theoretically, we'll get that out of the way of the main shot. Kinda, sorta. Like this. And then... just get this to come up slightly. What about that? Does that do anything, or does that like look too far? You should get a gasoline. I love the chaos. This is not chaos. This is science. Okay? There's a big difference between chaos and science. Chaos, we wouldn't know what we're doing. Science, we have a goal, and we're just trying to figure out how to get there. We have a hypothesis. The hypothesis that we are working with is getting the camera to adjust itself perfectly so it looks like I'm looking at chat when I'm talking like this. But I still feel like it's off. The camera looks better, yes, but we can see your face better. Where do I... I guess I could get like another... what if I got a... wait, can you switch the other camera view to the larger view? Yeah. To like make this one bigger, but it's like so washed out. And I don't know how to... exactly how, but I'm sure we could get that better. I mean, I guess I could turn off some of my lights or turn them down. It's a little high. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If we could get it like here, I feel like we'd be locked. Too washed out? Yeah. But we could have like the extra cam be the after party. So we get the JW thoughts or talks after party, and then we just change up like the lighting and stuff. Let me see if I can... hold on. Let's see what kind of concoctions we can cook up here. I don't think I have like a mini tripod, though. No, I only have like full-size ones. Wally needs to hire Ryan Johnson. I guess wait. No. But Cam 1 is way better. Yes, I realize Cam 1 is better, but I have hope for the future that we can get Cam 2 to look equally well, maybe with some software updates and changes like that. I am confident that maybe with a little bit of innovation that we could do that. So the thing that we need to worry about is, are we cooking with fire, or are we blowing smoke up our butt? See, there's like a little hole in my desk. It's like a little glory hole that you can use for your cords. I don't know why I said that, but I did, so you're just gonna have to deal with it. But yeah, the little glory hole in my desk, and I think I could put this tripod below it, and then it should pop up, and I could almost get it to that sweet spot. Thoughts? Or am I overcomplicating this? It's crazy the difference in lighting. Both look great. Adds a different vibe. Well, the lighting is all the same. It's just this one is trying to try and not be a terrible turd. Anyway. Okay. I'm going to enter the glory hole. Jesus Christ, what have I done? What have I done? Wait, what is your goal? I just joined. I am so sorry. If you just joined, I recommend just leaving. It's probably for the best. I appreciate you coming around. You can watch the VOD. You can see what we did before. But if you're coming just to watch this, you won't. It'll take too long to explain. This is just. It's part of production. Okay. So. Listen here. Then. I believe. I'm a humble man of science. That what are you doing in that bit? Okay. I think maybe it works. I'm going up the rabbit hole. That's a crazy combo. No, look, see? I did it. It's fed through the glory hole now. We were warned about what happens when we leave glory holes. Yep. You were warned. The witnesses warned you correctly about the problems of apostates, and I'm here to prove to you that what is Wally doing to himself? It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine. We're doing science, guys. This is science. Nothing weird is happening. Okay, boom. That's locked in. Okay. We go back to our normal spot. Okay. And have we solved the problem? Are we now one with nature and the good Lord? Does it look like I'm looking at you guys now through camera 2? I'm kind of sweaty now. Okay, hold on. Let's do this. Camera 2. Hi guys, my name's Wally. You're probably wondering how we got to this point in the stream. Well, first I had a guest, we talked about politics, then there was a GoPro and a glory hole, and now I'm talking to you. So, like and subscribe. Okay. Yes, the lighting is nasty, but I feel fairly confident that I can fix that part of it. But does this aspect, is this a vibe? And then all we have to do is kind of, but you're looking down and left. That's because when I read the chat messages, they come at the bottom of the screen. So I guess I could just, if I only looked at the ones right in the middle. Is this how a colonoscopy looks? Yes. Oh my God, I'm loving the comments. Bill Nye. Exactly, I am. This is like me talking myself through problems. I don't have any problems. I'm talking myself to solutions. No, Chris Angle Mind Freak. Don't know what that means. It's better winning. Yep. Turn the camera away, Wally. I feel self-conscious. Huh? Much better. Oh, wait. We're already there. Looks good. You know how hard it is to not look at this part of chat? It's so difficult to just like refuse to look there. Lighting from below at some spot would be a good idea. Lighting from below, like where? Because like I have another light over here that I use on my normal videos that we could always use to enter the mix. And this guy is just like, he's a freelancer. It's like normally when I record a video, I have that light on as well. And it kind of gets like the stuff behind me. And that's how it goes. Thanks, Jonathan. Appreciate you. GoPro with a glory hole sounds more like an OnlyFans stream. Well, I mean, YouTube hasn't taken the stream down yet, so I don't know if I'm allowed to say any of those words, but if I'm not, then, you know, it is what it is. Okay. It's because I'm talking to my glorious friends on YouTube. You guys are... I shouldn't say that. Okay. I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop myself for once. I feel like this is actually not half bad. If we can just work out how to do it, like... Because hypothetically, theoretically... let's turn this light down to, like, 1%. And then turn this light down to 1%. Or maybe this one off. And then this one off. Huh. Like, this isn't bad, right? Well, no, because then it gets pixelated. Better with the light off. Better? Looks good, way better. Okay. I just feel like it's a little bit pixelated, but I feel like it looks decent. Looks good, looks good. Okay, progress. See? And now that this is set up, as long as I can move my desk up and down and nothing catastrophic, is going to happen. I don't know if I can get it quite high enough. Nothing catastrophic happened there. I guess if we did have this cam though as well, then I could do a standing stream. That sounds weird. Oh, goodness gracious. We've knocked over the monitor. Oops. Well, I mean, we could work out the kinks, but I could do a standing stream as well. If I ever just wanted to like get up and, you know, moving around. So we have options. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is we have options with our newfound technology, with our use of the hole. The hole that's in the desk. Uh-oh. I don't know if this is the most advisable thing. Okay, we're fine. We're fine. But I think it at least gets the idea across. Done and done. So standing desk. Check. Regular camera. Obviously. That one's always... Houston, we have a problem. What? What's the problem? What did I do? Don't tell me, Houston, we have a problem. Don't say these things to me. Like a UFO coming to visit. What? What? What is there something I'm not aware of? What is happening? You guys are freaking me out. It was the monitor was blocking the view. Oh, okay. Quote 1201. I don't know what that means, but it scares me. That makes me nervous. And I don't like being nervous. No, it's all good. You look great. Oh, all right. Okay, so other than that, so we'll have to figure this part out. I think with this could just be the The after hours. The JW talks after hours. You know, this could be like the setup for it. Hello, I'm late. I am so sorry. Rewind at this point. There's nothing of value here. Wally, you're not giving a talk in the hall. Sit down. You must be like 15 seconds behind. Oh, you're a Trekkie. I tried selling a product called Tricolor Zero. My brother and I used to put the 3D models of the Enterprise. What would be? That'd be dope. Would be dope. Sometimes I think there's a few people that are slightly behind in chat. Hello, Wally. What did I miss? Nothing? You've missed absolutely nothing. The show is just now getting started. We're definitely not trying to close the stream down by working out some of the kinks in it. All right, that just completely failed. So, it's weird because you guys say that this is a better volume for you guys, and yet when it's going through my little processor, it's basically showing me like I'm almost always peaking all the time. Maybe an attendant with a mic when you want to speak. Don't you ever say those words to me again. Attendant with a microphone. Man, doing microphones. You know what was terrible as a young kid? You're like 15 and you're doing microphones. When you have to pee really, really bad, and I drink a lot of water, so I always have to. And when you have to like reach over like multiple people and you feel like they're looking at your junk and you're like reaching around them and you try and walk away, but then you think they're looking at your ass. And it's just like really uncomfortable, the whole situation. And then you have to pee, so you're like kind of squirmy. It's a bad vibe. But then you don't want to be the guy that's like, oh, sorry, can you run microphones for me? Yeah, being a microphone servant was... Ryan, sorry, you actually did not make it. I was 15 sleeping in the hall. Good job. Yeah, sorry, Ryan. The show's over. This is just beta testing at this point. You know, here. Let me do this real quick. Just so if people just wander in, there's not any more false expectations about what's happening here. Hold on. Hold. Pause. Everyone pause. Okay. Oh, Lord. Boop. Boop. Here. Boom. 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 Okay. Now no one will be confused. We are beta testing. Okay. Anybody go to an XJW meetup? Yes. I want to meet up with wow. Holy moly, jolly-oly. We're in there now, baby. We are deep inside of it. How can I try to get someone out of JW? You have come to the right place. You have minds here that aren't just talking about weird stuff, I promise. We do have active minds that have valuable things to say from our experience. So, all right, team, let's lock it in. Everyone, we're locked in. How can I try to get someone out of JW? My girlfriend, or now ex, my ex wanted me to join, but I just couldn't believe in things they believed in. I shared videos on how their Bible say Jesus is God. I'm guessing me not God. Well, if someone is like insistent that the only way that you can be with them is if you join their religion, is that a red flag for you? Or is that like, obviously you went through the experience and you just couldn't believe in certain things. It's like, what is the appeal? What is, what are you holding on to? What type of hope? Do you want this person to wake up from their beliefs because like you really feel like you love them? That type of thing? Sten says, I prefer meeting you guys on here. What's your ex's age, first of all? That is important in order to know the best form or route of info delivery. True. Good comms. Villano? Yes. What is your ex's age? Unless this person just opened the stream and isn't going to see this for the next 155 minutes. Then we're going... Oh, okay. No, we're good. Yeah, I love her so much, and she is 20. So, 20 years old? Probably a born-in Jehovah's Witness. What was her reaction when you shared videos? I'm assuming you're talking about videos of, like, apostates or stuff? Because that never goes very well. Showing someone any apostate stuff is pretty much a guarantee for it to get very combative and aggressive in their approach. If someone is thinking in their mind or their perception is that you are trying to take away the most important thing to them, their faith, and if you're a Jehovah's Witness, that is the most important thing that you have. If they get a signal or a sign that you're trying to take that away from them, there's going to be a barrier that goes up. If you are asking honest questions that you are coming up with, it's not from an outside source, because, you know, she won't know who some person on YouTube is. She doesn't have any of that context to go with it. Whereas if it's coming from you, there's that actual emotional connection that you might be able to get through. And then godly beard, yes, that was my next step. Is you have to ask questions that are not suspicious. That's really important because, again, you just don't want that suspicion level, that barrier to go up. But if you are just asking questions about the faith specifically, I mean, they're studying with you, they're trying to get you to convert, so it should be a fairly natural, seamless, like one-to-one line, right? I showed things about Toni Morris. 2 weeks later, she's removed. Don't go against core beliefs. Make them think. Yeah. I don't know 100% about the Toni Morris stuff because, like, scandals won't necessarily work for everyone. I disagree. I would ask her, didn't you really think what you believe is completely nuts? There's also that. To be honest, apostate stuff probably needs to be shown from someone not family. My son, who has shunned me for 5 years, has just restarted contact as his wife is now waking up, and he listens to her. Yeah. If you didn't get a chance, and I'm not just trying to toot my own horn here, but if you're looking for like a question that might be an interesting thing to ask, the latest video I uploaded, I genuinely think it maybe was my best video that I've ever made. To be completely honest. And it's basically talking about something that I thought a lot about. And it's essentially like, what is a way that you could break from the cognitive dissonance that a Jehovah's Witness would feel? And it would have to be something that they have been told a lot of, but they have seen demonstrations in their life that's simply not true. And so the question was, are Jehovah's Witnesses actually protected by God? And the farther down that rabbit hole you go, at each level, they'll have some type of apologetic for it. Oh, well, he doesn't give everyone physical protection. It's only as a group. And piece by piece, you can dismantle that till you're literally left with absolutely nothing. And it's an interesting thing. Anyway, Ryan, you have good news? What's your good news, Ryan? But yeah, if I would say the number one thing though is your approach should just be as non-combative as possible, coming from a place of curiosity, not attacking. And that's going to be one of the more important things, and have it be authentically you. Like, just showing someone something isn't necessarily going to be the best approach because they're not going to have that emotional connection. And then anything else, I think chat would just go back and watch this if YouTube doesn't take it down because I was talking about, oh, glorious holes in my desk. Ray Friend, I replied to Faded in chat who said someone's waking up. Oh, copy. I missed that. Cool. Make her feel special, equal, and seen. This would contrast previous experiences and how they're made to feel. Yeah, just be a normal dude. No doubt there's some level of soup stirring in her brain, because she wouldn't be talking to you otherwise. I watched an elder on YouTube. It just popped up and wanted to know why an elder and special pioneer leave. So I watched a bit and thought I'd stop if it was apostate. I watched the whole video, and welcome. Had a funny story. 2 friends were trying to convert him, one Presbyterian and one JW. He went to the Presbyterian church and felt born again, and excitedly told his JW friend, who said, "Oh no, you picked the wrong church." Yeah. Oh, hell nah. Yeah, I think I'm too late because for that, as she wants to fully take the JW path. I promise you, no one fully wants to take the JW path. They're doing it for a different reason. They're doing it because they don't want to lose something. It's usually, I highly doubt there are very many people that will look at their grandparents who have pioneered for 50 years, have no career, have nothing, and say, yeah, I want that life for me. It's usually the fear of losing something that's keeping someone in. You want to hit that. You know you want to hit that. Hey, you see that like button over there? You know you want to hit that. Nah, they can't. They just can't be honest. To make the JWs are stuck in the 1950s. They kind of are. Whoa, I've had these noise canceling headphones in, and that was like disorienting, turning them off. Her mom is the one who pushes her so much, but I can tell she doesn't know if she wants to. Yeah, see? You just hit it? Good job. Now open up a different browser, get a different Google account name, and hit that shit again. Oh God, what have I done? See you, Ruby. So crime on public record is undefeated. Pardon? Ask if she understands the shunning and marking and losing family and friends if you simply just stop attending. Who are we talking about? I've heard of him, but don't know much about him, actually. Someone? I don't know. I get lost in the sauce. Sneak a copy of Ray Franz's book in the house. You know, I was out of the organization for, like, 8 years before I read Ray Franz's book. I know, it's kind of crazy. Bad apostate. Are the Spanish JW the same as the English studies? Couldn't tell you. I've only know from observation. But I've never attended a Spanish-speaking congregation, so don't know. Dude, I read it while I was still in. It was mind-blowing at that level. That would have actually made me poop my pants if I would have read that as a Jehovah's Witness. Like, allowed myself to this. Does this person know about Beth Sarim? It's physical proof. Yeah, you can't deny Beth Sarim. That bad boy is just there. Yeah, there ain't no denying that. I stopped at the preface in Ray Franz's book. Oh, that's too bad. It's really interesting. He's a very honest writer and thinker, I think. English as the governing body isn't inspired when the Spanish say... In the Spanish, they say revelations. Interesting. All right, guys. It has been 2 hours. We have done after hours. We have made scientific progress. We have given ourselves options for camera angles for after hours with JW Talks. We have more guests that I have actually had contact with and have said they would like coming on the show. So we will be having more guests. Thank you so much to T. I appreciate you very much for all of the gifted members. I appreciate you very, very much. Progress on the cam setup. Nice work. Thank you. Bye, World Stage. I'll see you later. Jenny B, thank you for joining. I appreciate you, Jenny B. Ro, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Fade to X Adam, thank you, thank you. Lisa, thank you, thank you, thank you. Bye, Ryan. Have a great weekend. Talk to you soon. Hey, Ryan, by the way, why don't you ever invite me to come on the Apostate Coalition? I would come on there. Thank you, Alpha. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Chilling. I appreciate you as well. Thank you, thank you. Bye, Chilling. Jolena, I just saw someone never mention her, but there you are. Bye-bye. Thank you. Exodus, I wish you the best of luck. Godly Beard, thank you for coming by. Yeah, hit me up. Let me know. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys so much. Sig, you are the GOAT. If anyone has seen, he has his own badge. I don't think anyone else has that. It's me as a goat. Which I thought was pretty cool. I thought it was cool. I don't know. Maybe it was kind of weird, but I thought it was neat. I thought it was kind of cute. Thank you everyone for joining. And I will see you next week for JW Talks, After Hours, and more. And the beta version will still continue because we still have some kinks to work out because of the lighting situation. But next week, we will tackle the lighting. Be safe, and always remember,